Okay, think about this for a second. Your brain, it's nearly 75% water. Right now, your blood absolutely depends on it, and your kidneys simply cannot function without it. Yet, despite carrying around this literal ocean inside of us, most of us don't really understand how hydration actually works. I mean, we hear that basic drink 8 glasses a day rule repeated all the time, but is that even accurate? What exactly happens inside your cells when that internal fluid balance shifts?
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating and honestly incredibly complex medical reality behind hydration. We're going to completely reframe how you think about that glass of water sitting on your desk. Because it's not just about quenching a dry throat. Actually, scratch that. It's a profound, continuous physiological balancing act that is literally keeping you alive.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the anatomy of hydration, move into electrolytes and internal regulation, and then cover the real dangers of dehydration. After that, we'll look at the miracle of oral rehydration solution and wrap up with how to master your own fluid balance. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The anatomy of hydration, and exactly where all this water lives in the body.
Now, you probably know, water is the second most essential thing for your survival, right after oxygen. It makes up roughly 60% of an adult guy's total weight. But it's not just sloshing around in your stomach like a fishbowl. Our body water is basically divided into two major compartments. A massive 2/3 of your total body water is intracellular fluid, or ICF. That means it literally hides inside your cells. The remaining 1/3? That's extracellular fluid, or ECF. That's the fluid outside the cells, making up your blood plasma, interstitial fluids, and transcellular fluids. You are, quite literally, a walking collection of microscopic water balloons. And why does this specific setup matter? Well, water is involved in almost every single physiological process you have. It regulates your body temperature, transports life-saving oxygen and nutrients, flushes out waste, lubricates your joints, and maintains your blood pressure. Even a remarkably mild state of dehydration will instantly impair your concentration, your physical performance, and your mood. Ever get that dreaded afternoon brain fog? You know the feeling. You might not actually need more coffee. Your cellular metabolism might literally just be begging for some water.
Moving on to Section 2, electrolytes and internal regulation. Let's meet the hidden players.
You see, true hydration is not just about water. It's a delicate balance scale, not an empty tank that you just top off. To maintain that perfect balance, we heavily rely on electrolytes, which are essentially charged minerals dissolved in your body fluids. On one side, we have sodium, the main extracellular cation. Sodium is basically the master controller of your water balance on the outside of your cells. On the flip side, we have potassium, the major intracellular cation. Potassium is absolutely essential for your heart and your muscles to function properly. They work together in this beautiful, microscopic dance to keep your fluids exactly where they need to be.
So these hidden players build into an incredible automated regulatory system. Step 1, when plasma osmolality rises, which just means your blood is getting a bit too concentrated, Step 2 kicks in. This triggers your hypothalamus to stimulate the feeling of thirst. But your body doesn't just sit around hoping you grab a drink. In Step 3, your posterior pituitary gland releases ADH, the antidiuretic hormone. And in Step 4, ADH tells your kidneys to step up and increase water reabsorption. Your kidneys continuously adjust your urine concentration to rigorously defend your internal fluid balance. It's an absolute masterclass in biological engineering.
Section 3. The dangers of dehydration. What happens when this balance fails?
So what exactly happens clinically when this incredible internal system gets overwhelmed? Dehydration happens when your fluid loss, whether that's from sweating, a fever, diarrhea, or burns, exceeds your fluid intake. But here's the thing, it is not all the same. We categorize dehydration into 3 distinct types based on how that delicate scale tips. Isotonic means you're losing salt and water equally. Hypertonic dehydration means you're losing way more water than sodium. This often leads to a condition called hypernatremia, which is a massive red flag for a severe water deficit. And finally, hypotonic is when you lose more sodium than water. Which type you have entirely dictates exactly how medical professionals are going to treat you.
And the physical experience of all this? It escalates super rapidly. The symptoms basically follow a clear rule of 3. Mild dehydration is just your body's early warning system: thirst, dry mouth, and fatigue. Hit the moderate stage, and things start getting scary. We're talking dizziness, tachycardia, which is a rapid heart rate, and significantly reduced urine output. But severe dehydration? No joke. That is a true medical emergency. It triggers hypotension, or severely low blood pressure, severe confusion, and can ultimately lead to life-threatening hypovolemic shock and even a coma. All right, Section 4, the ORS miracle, a true public health marvel.
Now that we understand the extreme stakes of severe fluid loss, let's look at a remarkably elegant solution. One of the greatest medical discoveries in public health is oral rehydration solution. Honestly, I cannot overstate the sheer magnitude of that quote. We usually think of great medical breakthroughs as, complex robotic surgeries or high-tech drugs. But ORS, it's a stunningly simple combination of sodium chloride, glucose, potassium, and citrate. That's the whole shebang. And yet this specific, simple mixture has saved literally millions of lives worldwide, particularly from severe diarrheal dehydration. So how does this basic mixture perform such miracles? Well, it comes down to pure cellular mechanics. Step 1. You ingest sodium and glucose together. But why together? Because in Step 2, your intestine utilizes something called sodium-glucose co-transport. Your cells essentially use the glucose to unlock the door, dragging the sodium inside with it. And here is the real magic in Step 3. Because of that sudden shift in concentration, water naturally follows the sodium osmotically, rushing straight across the intestinal wall and right back into your bloodstream. It literally forces your body to absorb water. It's elegant, it's brilliant, and it works.
Let's bring this home with Section 5, Mastering Your Fluid Balance, the requirements and the risks.
How do we actually apply this science day to day? Well, I want to throw a curveball at you with this concept: water intoxication. Yeah, you heard that right. Too much water can actually be incredibly dangerous. Remember that delicate balance scale we talked about? If you chug an excessive amount of water way too quickly, you drastically dilute your body's sodium levels. This causes a really dangerous condition called hyponatremia. The symptoms are awful: nausea, headaches, seizures, and even cerebral edema, which is swelling of the brain. So forcing down gallons of water just because you think more is always better, you're actually working against your own physiology.
So what is the actual right amount? The general recommendation that gets thrown around everywhere is 2 to 3 liters daily for an adult. But, and this is a massive but, you have to treat this number with a lot of nuance. Your actual daily requirement varies wildly. It depends entirely on your age, the climate you live in, whether you're fighting off a bug, and your daily activity level. I mean, a construction worker out in July needs vastly more water than someone sitting in an air-conditioned office in December, right?
Ultimately, the golden rule is this: let thirst, urine color, and your activity level be your guides. Your body is incredibly smart. You really don't always need an app to track every single ounce you drink. If you are thirsty, your hypothalamus is already sounding the alarm. Listen to it. If your urine is dark, you need more fluid. If it's pale yellow or clear, you're doing just fine. These are highly effective, built-in tools that your body uses to maintain its physiological fluid balance.
Okay, let's quickly summarize what we've learned today with some high-yield takeaways distilled straight from our source material. First, remember ADH. That's the hormone telling your kidneys to increase water reabsorption. Second, sodium is the boss outside your cells, the major ECF cation. Third, potassium is the boss inside your cells, the major ICF cation. And finally, the life-saving oral rehydration solution works its magic by utilizing that clever sodium-glucose co-transport in your intestines. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. The next time you take a sip from your glass, ask yourself, are you just drinking water, or are you truly balancing your body's intricate chemical ocean? Because, as we've seen, hydration is not just a daily chore to check off a list. It is a dynamic, moment-to-moment interplay of hormones, kidneys, electrolytes, and cellular biology. Understanding this really helps us appreciate the sheer brilliance of the human body. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep balancing, and stay curious.